Tonight's headlines: Duterte warns House to resolve impasse. Palace humbled by public approval on COVID response. Sotto accepts Cayetano's apology. Coronavirus cases in the country now at 331,869. High-risk areas to be placed under granular lockdowns. Habagat to prevail over Metro Manila. Peso stocks rise on positive news. And BSP says exploratory talks for digital banks ongoing. Good evening. Today is Thursday, October 8, 2020. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. President Rodrigo Duterte on Thursday night warned Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano and Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco to resolve the leadership row and make sure the 4.5 trillion peso national budget is passed on time. Duterte addressed the country after the speakership fight between Cayetano and Velasco threatened the passage on time of the General Appropriations Bill. The House of Representatives on Tuesday passed the budget on second reading, even with issues still pending in the plenary. The Cayetano-led chamber then suspended its session until November 16. The president said Filipinos could not afford to have a delayed budget for 2021 because of its provisions for COVID-19 response and relief, and also urged lawmakers not to drag him into the speakership mess. Earlier, Senate President Vicente Sotto III and Senator Panfilo Lacson have raised the possibility of a reenacted 2020 budget after the House suspended its session until November 16 without passing the budget on third and final reading. The palace on Thursday announced that it was humbled and inspired to serve over an opinion poll where a majority of Filipinos said they were satisfied by the government's response to the coronavirus pandemic. This comes after a Pulse Asia survey earlier released Thursday found that 84% of 1,200 respondents had a positive opinion about the work done by the Duterte administration to control the spread of the coronavirus. 92% of Filipinos also believe that President Rodrigo Duterte has done well to prevent the spread of the virus, which has already killed 5,925 people in the country. To recall, a separate survey released by the same pollster on Monday showed that 91% of Filipinos approve of President Rodrigo Duterte's performance in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that they are humbled and further inspired to serve the Filipino people in this time of pandemic and crisis. Roque also earlier said that the 91% approval and trust ratings of the president showed Filipinos' disdain for politicking while the nation is dealing with the impact of the pandemic. Senate President Vicente Sotto III on Thursday accepted Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano's apology after the House leader said senators should be blamed should Congress fail to pass the 2021 budget on time. Cayetano in a Facebook Live video said sorry to senators, saying it was not his intention to pin the blame on the Senate. The House Speaker issued the apology after Sotto told reporters that the House was using the Senate as a scapegoat after the chamber drew flack for allowing power struggles to affect budget deliberations. Sotto, on the other hand, said that aside from the public apology, Cayetano also called him personally. Worries over the possible delayed approval of the 2021 budget surfaced earlier this week after Cayetano abruptly suspended session, days before he was supposed to hand over House leadership to Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco. President Rodrigo Duterte had brokered a gentleman's agreement for Cayetano to serve as Speaker until this month and be replaced by Velasco, the President's PDP Laban party mate. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome.
The Department of Health reported 2,363 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Thursday to bring the total number of infected in the country to 331,869. Metro Manila still logged the highest number of newly reported cases at 858, followed by Cavite with 309, Batangas with 139, Rizal with 112, and Bulacan with 97. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 274,318 after 697 patients recovered from the disease. The death toll is now at 6,069 with 144 fatalities recorded. The remaining 51,482 are active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine, 85.7% of which are mild, 9.8% are asymptomatic, 1.4% are severe, and 3.1% are in critical condition. The DOH said 45% of COVID-19 intensive care unit beds nationwide were occupied and 23% of mechanical ventilators were in use as of October 7. Meanwhile, experts from the University of the Philippines said that the country has managed to sustain the downward trend of new COVID-19 infections. The country's chief implementer of the government's response against COVID-19 on Thursday revealed that granular lockdowns and not stricter quarantine will be implemented in high-risk areas. Secretary Carlito Galvez said that the granular lockdown will be complemented with syndromic surveillance, which includes finding COVID-19 cases among the close contacts of infected persons. This comes after the UP OCTA research team advised to implement stricter quarantine classifications in 11 areas in the country, including those considered as high risk. In an October 6 report, the OCTA research team advised the government to implement stricter quarantine classifications in 11 areas based on the data from August 25 to October 5. 9 areas are considered high risk because their daily attack rate per 1,000 is greater than 1.0%, and their attack rate for the current week is also higher compared to both of the 2 previous weeks. State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Thursday said that cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms are expected to prevail over Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, the Bicol region, Visayas, and Mindanao due to a low pressure and the southwest monsoon. In its 24-hour forecast, the weather agency said flash floods and landslides are possible due to scattered light to moderate to at times heavy rains. The LPA was estimated at 85 kilometers west-southwest of Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro at 3 p.m. on Thursday. Meanwhile, northeasterly surface wind flow is expected to bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains over the Ilocos region, the Cordillera Administrative Region, and the Cagayan Valley. According to Pagasa, a typhoon outside the Philippine area of responsibility was located at 1,435 kilometers northeast of extreme northern Luzon, with maximum sustained winds of 120 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Sunrise is at 5:46 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:39 p.m. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... can't say ko salita. Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kaming natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May, nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
In business, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index closed on the green on Thursday as assurance that passage of the proposed 2021 national budget will not be hampered by the House of Representatives session suspension. The PSEI index rose 1.27% or 74.78 points to 5,942.66 points, while the broader all shares also increased with a jump of 1.01% or 35.75 points to 3,563.65 points. Volume totaled to 2.26 billion shares amounting to 19.6 billion pesos. Regina Capital Development Corporation head of sales Luis Limdingan said that local shares rallied after President Donald Trump signaled he was open to a number of measures only hours after calling off talks with congressional Democrats on a relief package until the November election. The local currency, on the other hand, finished the day's trade at 48.355 from 48.39 close a day ago, as it opened the day at 48.43 and traded between 48.43 and 48.35, resulting to an average of 48.37. Volume reached $519.35 million, lower than the previous day's $584.4 million. And the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas on Thursday said it may limit the industry players moving forward even as more firms have expressed their intent to put up digital banking operations in the Philippines. BSP Governor Benjamin Jokno said exploratory talks are underway for local and foreign firms to establish digital banks in the country. This comes amid a proposed BSP framework which seeks to create digital banking as a new classification from universal banks, commercial banks, thrift banks, rural banks, cooperative banks, and Islamic banks. At present, among the digital banking platforms available in the country are Discard of the Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation and Ion of the Union Bank of the Philippines. It also includes Como of the East-West Banking Corporation and the Land Bank of the Philippines, along with CIMB and ING. According to BSP Managing Director Lynn Javier, the central bank has received 3 applications so far and noted that they were applications for the existing classification of banks employing a digital platform. That wraps up these stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Parisito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for my shirt and jacket this evening. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap. It's a wrap, just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the Ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan. Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Kung nga naman, sir, ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.